Hey everyone, Leo with Dreaming Tree, and welcome to another Sure Cuts a Lot tutorial. Today we're going to be talking about curving text. So in front of me here I have one of our latest cards from the Befitting Birthday Cards bundle. This is the diamond card, and of course we include the captions up here, but we also give you some room for additional print here. Now, occasionally you're going to run across elements in designs like this one, where in this case we have a banner that's wavy. Now, it's very difficult to take text and curve it so it fits this. I've seen a few examples of cards like this that were made where the text runs straight across, and it's not that bad looking. But today I'm going to show you how to create curved captions using Sure Cuts a Lot 6's Draw tool, and it also has a tool called Type on Path. And we're going to draw this little line here and type on it so that we end up with something like this. Now this one here, this is actually a single line font, very much like the one we used in my last video where I showed you how to use single line fonts to take your cards to the next level. This was actually done with my Cricut Maker, the pen tool. But you can also do a print to cut as well. So I'm going to show you how to do both of them. So let's hop right into it. We're going to actually work with one of the elements from our latest Befitting Cards bundle, Befitting Birthday Cards. I'm going to take the elements_rain file from our diamond card, but it also comes with a variety of captions so that you can use them for a whole bunch of different things. But anyway, so what we want to do is we want to create some text, but you can see here this little banner is wavy. Okay, so how do we put text on here so that it kind of flows with the wave rather than just making it straight across? All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on this with my selection tool selected up here. I'm going to right click and I'm going to break this apart because I don't need this diamond. I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, so we're left with just this, and now I'm going to do something here that you're not going to have to do because when I assembled this card, I actually put the banner on upside down. Okay, so I'm going to rotate it this way so that the thicker part is over on the left hand side and the thinner part is on the right hand side. This is not going to affect how you do this. This is just because I made a careless mistake. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in just to get nice and up and close. Okay, and next we have this single layer here. I'm going to lock this layer so we don't end up messing with it. And in the layers, we can just click this little dot right here to lock it. So now no matter what I do, I can't select it. Okay. Next, we're going to grab the pen tool, or the draw tool as it's called here, and Sure Cuts a Lot. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to go over here to the point down here. Doesn't matter if you're on it or slightly below it. As long as you're in the vicinity, you're fine. I'm going to click just once. Okay, and it's going to create a point, and it's going to give me this handle. Now I'm going to go about halfway and click and hold, and you can see what's happening here. As I pull away from where I just clicked, it starts to create an arch. Okay, now as you can see here, the arch is a little bit too high, so what we can do is just change the direction of this handle here, where my pen is. What I'm doing is I'm pulling it further away, and if I bring it down, or if I bring it up actually, if I move my mouse up, it decreases how much it bends. If I pull it down, it increases how much it bends. And if I bring it closer to the node, it changes where it bends. If I move it further away, it also changes where it bends. So while I'm holding this down, you may just need to kind of experiment and find that little sweet spot so that it matches up with the shape of the actual banner. So I like how that looks. I'm going to go ahead and let go. Okay, and now you can see it's creating another node, and just based on how this one is shaped, it almost kind of figures out how to make the other one look correct. So I'm going to take this, it's not 100% correct, but I'm going to take this right to the end here and click and hold. And while I do that, when I do that, I can do the same thing here, where if I move it around, it changes that shape. So I can just kind of keep moving this around until I get it to look correct. Okay, so in this case, it means that I'm not going too far away from where I just last clicked. If I go all the way out here, you can see what it does. it makes the curve way back there. We don't want that. So I'm going to bring this closer. And then if I go up or down, it changes where it is. So you just have to kind of find that sweet spot. And to me, that looks good. So I'm going to let go. And now it wants to keep going, but I'm going to hit escape. Okay. And now it's there. You can't see it because it's a single line, and that's okay. I'm going to click on my selection tool up here. It is selected. And we're going to go over to the little artboard here, and we're going to change the stroke to color, and we can just leave it as black, and that's fine. And there it is. So we've created this shape now. Okay, now you can see here, if I grab this line and I just place it in the center of the banner, you can see how well it flows. It looks like it will look really, really good, actually. I think this will be the bottom or this will be the actual line that the text sits on. But I'm just going to bring this down here for now, and we're going to click and hold the type tool so that we can get access to the type on path tool. I'm going to click on that. So now that we have the type on path tool selected, I'm just going to go ahead and click anywhere on this black line. Okay, and you can see what it does. It creates a blinking line indicating that it's ready for some text. And I'm going to begin by just typing all the best, exclamation point, and then I'll put our names here. Now don't worry about the fact that it's getting scrunched up. That's okay. There we go. Actually, I just double clicked on everything. And then what we'll do is we'll take and decrease the size of the font. Okay, so we're over here. So over here with the font menu selected, I'm going to decrease the size until I get what I want. Okay, and that looks pretty good. I'm going to go in here and I need to make that a capital. All the best, Leo and Liesel. Okay, and what we can also do, if we double click on this, we can take this and change this to any font we want. Okay, now that font didn't work, but let's pick a different one, all the best. And depending on the font that you pick, you may need to change the size because every font is different, obviously. So what we can do is we can stick with this for now. I'm not too concerned about which fonts I'm going to use. I just wanted to illustrate this. That's completely up to you. But let's just say we're going to go with, I want to go with something similar to what's on the card already. Okay, so I'm just going to go with this font here. And then, again, as I mentioned, you can take and increase and decrease the size. Now, obviously, if you go too big, the letters at the end are going to get scrunched up. So just bring it down until it looks good. And you can also decrease or increase the width of the individual letters. You can increase the tracking, which is basically how far or how much they're spread apart. Okay, but I think that looks good. It fills the entire width of the line. So in that case, I'm going to click on my selection tool. Okay, so in this example here, I'm actually going to be doing a print to cut. This element here, the blue element, whoops, I actually accidentally hit it. The blue element is going to be a cut file, and it doesn't really matter what color it is. I'm just going to make it an off-white so we can still see it, and then just hit OK. But now the actual font itself, I want to make that a deeper blue. So with it selected and the art palette menu selected here, I'm going to change the fill, and I can click on this little box here, and we're going to give it a little bit of a darker, deeper blue color. Let me start with a color that's already blue and then hit OK. Let me take a look at that. That'll work. Again, this is just an example, and I'm just kind of rushing this a little bit. Not overly concerned about it being perfect, but I'm going to shrink this down just a little bit and give this another little nudge just to make sure it's nice and centered. Cool thing too is if you're not completely in love with it, you can take and rotate it a little bit too. And there we go. I think that looks great. All right, so what we're going to do, since this is going to be a print to cut, I'm going to take and go to File and Export, and we'll call this All the Best PNC, print to cut. We'll save it as an SVG, hit save, and just make sure that you have Design Space Compatible selected and hit OK. Okay, so now that we have Design Space open, I'm going to click on New Project, and we're going to hit upload, and we're going to bring in that SVG file that I just opened, and we're going to bring in that SVG file that I just created. It's on my desktop. All the best, PNC. Okay, there it is. Let's upload it. And then let's add it to Canvas. Okay, and there it is. So now, if we take a look at all the different elements on here, you can actually take and get rid of the line. You can see it here under layers. We'll get rid of that line. We don't need it. Okay, and since we're doing a print to cut on this, I'm going to take and highlight the base layer, which is the actual banner, and I'm going to change the color on that to white. Okay, because I don't want that to print any color, but I do want the all the best part to print out in that blue. So I've changed the banner to white. The letters are still blue, which is what we want, and I'm going to select this whole thing and hit flatten. Okay, so now we have a print to cut. Let's click make it and see what it looks like. Let's hit make it, and we can then send it to the printer and then let it cut, and we can take a look at the end result here. So in addition to creating a print and cut using a font, we can actually use this line to create writing using a single line font that your machine is going to draw or write using its pen tool. Okay, so again, with the same line, we're going to click and hold to select the Type on Path tool, and we're going to click right here on the actual line that we created, and you can see that it creates the little blinking font line. And I'm going to do the same exact thing. All the best, exclamation point, and then our signature, or our names, I should say. It's not an actual signature. And I'm going to double click to select it all because I need to change the font that we're using. So I'm going to click on the font menu here, and I'm going to click on this, and I need to scroll down to SLF. Because the fonts that I got are single line fonts and they begin with SLF. Okay, now one thing to note here, if you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fonts, this menu may slow down on you. So try to keep your font selections and collection kind of lean. Okay, so I have some single line fonts here. One of them is Architect, which is a sans serif, so it's not fancy. Let's see what that looks like. All the best. Now, while it's highlighted, you can see that these letters here are kind of getting stacked on top of each other. It's because it's too big. So I'm going to change the size, just like we did with the print to cut. Okay, so I don't know if I like this font. I'm going to try one of my other ones that I have here. Let's see what Graceful looks like. Let me increase the size of this. And 0.53 is a little too small. 0.63 is a little bit too big, so let's go somewhere in between, 0.56 maybe. That looks good. Okay, and that one looks a lot better. Okay, so I'm going to click on my selection tool, and let me grab my nudge, just kind of nudge that over, and I think that looks pretty good. Okay, all the best. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so again, you have to play with the fonts, figure out what looks best. I'm going to go to File, Export, and we'll call this All the Best Pen Tool, and hit save. I'm saving it to my desktop, and I'm going to make sure that Design Space Compatible is selected. So now we can head over to Design Space. Let me get rid of this. We're done with that. And I'm going to upload image, browse. Here's the file that I just saved, All the Best Pen Tool. Let's bring that in, upload. Okay, and let's bring that into the canvas. Now, as I mentioned here, the first time we had to go in and just locate that line that we want to get rid of. It's right here. You can see it's right there. We can either delete it by hitting the garbage can here, or you can hide it, but there it is. It's gone. And let's zoom in on this, take a closer look at how beautiful that's going to look. Okay, so all that's left to do now is, and we should have the shape is on a single layer here. It is. That's great. And that is going to be a cut, so it doesn't matter what color it is. Now the other layer, the writing right here, you can see the group. Maybe we can just click on that. Let me see. Now I think if we click on this, it's an entire group. So what we'll do here under layers is make sure that we're just selecting the actual written portion by clicking just right there. Whoops. There it is. Okay, you can see that just the text is selected. Under operation, we're going to change that to pen. And it's going to make it look thicker, but it's really not going to make it thicker. It's just indicating to us that Design Space knows that we are going to draw this. Okay, now let's take a look and see what it looks like when we hit Make It. Oh, actually I forgot one step. We have to attach this. So you can do a select all and hit attach, and now let's hit Make It. Because we didn't attach and because things were on separate groups, when you go to make it, it's going to keep those on separate mats. But now that we've attached it, you can see it kept everything together, including the banner and all the letters in the format that we actually created it in, and it's ready to go. So you can see on the left-hand side, it asks for a pen, and then it's going to do a basic cut. So let's see what it looks like. So as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. An additional thing that I do want to mention is, in this case, for this caption here, I did a single line. But if you took 2 lines and just made the font a little bit smaller, you could do 2 lines of text, okay? So anyway, with this card, obviously, just as I usually do, I'm going to hit this with a little bit of ink. Now, one thing I wish I would have done on this card is with the pen that I selected here, I kind of wish that I would have matched it more to the color on there. So when you're doing this sort of thing, always be conscious of that sort of creative decision that you have to make. But either way, this is going to look great, and I can't wait to incorporate this into my future custom cards. So hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you at the next one. Hey, thanks for crafting along with me. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out some of our other videos, and also please consider hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget to visit our site and check out our free SVG section, where we have over 140 free SVG files complete with assembly videos. I look forward to crafting with you soon.